Hello folks and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party, and let's try Styx, Master of Shadows. It's developed by Cyanide Studios, who did furnish me with a free preview copy. It is published by Focus Home. You can pick it up for $29.99 on Steam right now. I believe it should be coming to Xbox One and PS4 either right now as well or soon. Digital only on both, or actually all three platforms, I believe. It also does have full controller support, has Steam achievements, Steam trading cards, and cloud saves. I'm going to go ahead and load my game here. This is actually pretty early on. You're not really going to get any spoilers here. This is the very first area of the second chapter, or you could call this actually the first real chapter, right after the tutorial. So this is a stealth game. Styx was in a game also by Cyanide called Of Orcs and Men. A lot of folks haven't heard of that one. It looks to be a good game. I've actually never played it myself. But there is someone, Edge Zombie, Harlock, what do you want to call him? He actually did a good Let's Play of that, so you should check it out. You should also check the game out. Looks pretty interesting. Long story short, Styx is a sneaky, sneaky little goblin. And you'll be sneaking around and doing bad things as sneaky, evil goblins tend to do. So this is a stealth game, and one of the first things people are going to try to compare this to is something like Thief. How good is it compared to other stealth games, etc.? Well, we're going to get out to all that, and you can kind of make a judgment yourself from based on what you see. We're going to avoid people at all costs, because Styx is terrible at combat. And if you play at the hardest difficulty, he flat out can't really do combat at all. We're going to try to take this guy out. Now, we don't have to take all these guys out, of course, but we're going to push him over the edge later. I don't think he'll be alerting any guards anytime soon. So yeah, Styx is very bad at combat, as it should be in a true stealth game. I'm a big fan of stealth games, for what it's worth. So I actually like that he's very bad at combat, and like I say, if you go play on the hardest difficulty, if you get spotted and a guard gets in melee range, you die instantly. Otherwise, you can parry. However, and I'm going to actually check this right now, so it's a good time to talk about it real quick. You can actually change the difficulty at any time. Goblin is the hardest difficulty, of course. We're going to actually put it on hard for right now, because I wanted to show the combat in case we do get into combat. And one way or the other, we will. So you've got, some of the typical stealth stuff to start with. You've got your general... Well, let's actually take these guys out before we go over the controls. Give a little bit of a roll here. Now, we have the muffled kill. If I hold the button, you kill him, but it's silent. But it's also very, very slow. However, if there's really nobody else around, we can do a fast kill. And he makes some noise. Now, there was nobody really close by, so no big deal. Now, you'll notice one of my issues with this game is that guy woke up after I killed him. That was a silent kill. However, silent kills aren't always all that silent. Let's get rid of the bodies, of course, like good assassins will. Yay, and of course, you always got to watch them do head over heel flips as they fly to their doom. Actually, I guess they've already been doomed. Later. So, alright, let's go over the controls very quickly. You have the general run. This is your general movement. There's not really a run. This is your just typical speed. It's the loudest. Enemies can hear you fairly well if you're close by. And you're walking on stone. Then you have the crouch. Makes you harder to see. You also make less noise, but you make a little bit. And then you have the walk. Now you can combine the walk and the crouch. The crouch walk is the slowest and the quietest and makes you the hardest to see. But the standing walk is kind of a good in-between. Now we got these gates and it's closed off. Now of course, like any good thief, we're not going to just take that way. Obviously, we're not just going to go the front door. I'm actually going to check over here and see if this is an alternate path that I missed the last time. Actually, it looks like it does. Another big thing with stealth games that's very big, that's very important. I say another thing because I don't think I actually mentioned anything else. But one big thing with stealth games is level design. You don't want to feel like you're being led down one narrow corridor. You want to feel like you're given an objective, you're given a location, and say, hey, okay, now I'm going to pick how I'm going to get there. So far, this game does a good job of that. I feel like there's wide open spaces. I feel like most of the time, there's more ways than one to get to where I'm going. And on top of that, I feel like I have a big map to explore. I don't feel like this map exists just for me to get where I'm going. Often there's big sections of the map, even already, that I can go to and explore that have nothing to do with where I had to go, which is awesome. So, real quick, we're going to use one of our powers called Amber Vision. Now this is a little thing that a lot of games these days have, where it shows the player important things, and that's kind of hard to see here because everything's super bright. But you can see here, that's glowing. Those things in the wall are glowing. Again, it might be hard to see because the brightness of the walls and the sunlight were making that very difficult to see. Again, you can see guards, hiding places, things like that. Pretty handy, not necessary. If you don't have to use it if you don't want to. I don't use it a whole lot. It's kind of nice for spotting valuables that are far away. Otherwise, I don't use it a whole lot. We also have a clone ability, which we'll go over in a little bit. But yes, those little things are all over the place. You can crawl over those. It's one of those things that it's kind of silly that they're there. Like, they just happen to be there at places you can crawl over. But for the most part, I'm willing to forgive it because it adds a lot of 3D to the level. It feels like, well, I can go the high road or the low road or the middle. I really like that. There's also these that you can hide in. The enemies can't see you, at least initially. Now, if guards are looking for you and you hide in a hiding spot, or if they're alert at all, they will look for you, because I've had them look in places I didn't even hide, like under desks and other things. Even though I didn't hide in there, they were looking, so they were looking in the usual hiding spots, which I think was pretty cool. A lot of games have really bad issues with that. Apparently Thief 1 did, or the Thief reboot did as well. And I'll be talking about Thief and how I think it compares in a bit, because I think that comparison is going to be very hard to avoid, and I don't really even see a net reason to avoid it. And I'm going to talk about the Thief series, because it is one of my favorite series of all times. Like, again, I do love my stealth games. And I'll be comparing it to the old Thief games and the newer one as well, that I know a lot of folks did not like, that I thought was an okay stealth game. So we got a lot of guards here. We got one guard patterning over here with a pattern. We got one guy taking a snooze. I don't think that guy's even a guard. He's more of a worker. So let's go ahead and we'll use our amber vision. I'm going to use this more than I probably normally would, just so that you guys can kind of see the effect. Oh, we don't want to trigger that guy. Alright, first things first, we want to go over here. Now, what's nice, being small, you can actually hide under tables and, well, not chairs, but just tables like this, and they can't see you. Again, if they're alert, they will look under tables and will find you. Also inside of things like these boxes. So I'm actually... Oh, in fact, he saw me, and I have to look out for the chairs, because you can hit the chairs and knock them over. Now, that is kind of an issue I have. I like the fact that you can knock chairs over. I like that you have to actually watch what you're doing. But it doesn't, like, it seems to be semi-random in what it applies to. For example, there can be cups on a table, and I can walk all over them, and it won't trigger. So that's unfortunate. So we got to watch out for this guy. And at some point, we will trigger the guards and whatnot. So we are going to go ahead and take this guy out. I don't think there should be anyone around that can see me. I have played through this stage, by the way. But yeah, even though it's supposed to be a silent kill, I think sometimes it actually does make a noise, which again is unfortunate. And I don't know if it's a bug or not. It seems to usually only trigger someone if they're very close. Remember, outside, when I killed that guy, it woke the other dude up, and it was pretty close. There's been other times where I did the silent kill, and then the body hit the ground, and the guard was instantly alerted that was in front of me. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't know if it has to do with the way the physics is causing the body to hit the ground, but it can be quite frustrating because it's supposed to be a silent kill. So we're going to do another silent kill around here, because we don't know how many guards are around. We haven't done really scoped out the area yet. See? See what I mean? There was a guy over there, and he heard me, even though it's supposed to have been a silent kill. And at first I thought I hit the chair, because it sounded like a chair hit, but it wasn't. So that's something I'm hoping that they fix. Keep in mind, this is still a preview build, and even though technically the game goes live in about 12 hours, hopefully that's something they fix, because it can absolutely cause problems, especially when you've got two guards pathing or patrolling, and you kill the guard behind the other guard silently, and his body hitting the ground causes the guard to hear you and ruins your stealth, which is definitely unfortunate in this game, because again, you do not want to be seen. And my opinion on stealth games is that if you get caught, you're pretty much done for. You either need to run and hide, or you're going to die. One guard, maybe. One guard, one NPC, one enemy, whatever. I'm okay with being able to take them out. Once you get to 2, maybe 3 guards, in my opinion, in a stealth game, it should be game over, pretty much. Not instant game over. Again, you should be able to get away. And if you get lucky, maybe pull a few traps. No, I'm actually trying to talk about this game right now. Rude as hell NPCs. Well, that gets a ding. I'm knocking the game for that. Rude game being rude to me while I'm trying to talk about the game. But we actually don't need to kill this guy. We'll actually kind of move on. I'm not a cold-blooded murderer. Actually, I am. I will admit, the way I used to play Thief, when it was a new thing, I actually did try to kill everyone, but stealthily. I didn't want to be caught, but at the same time, everybody had to die. So again, I knew there was another guard over here, so that's why I was being careful. All right, so this guy should be out of sight now. Oh, so now we've got combat, which I purposely did, totally. Now you notice I have to time my attacks, or I could throw a dagger and finish him off quickly. Now luckily those guards over there apparently don't have great hearing, so we did not get killed. So that brings us to the items. What a great segue, doesn't it? Well, let's talk about the combat first. I don't know if you really noticed in the combat. Let's get them on this side here. It'll be a little harder to see. You'll notice when they attack you, you don't have a block. You do have a dodge. The F key is your dodge. Shift is your walk slow. C is your crouch. You can rebind all those, I believe. But when you get in combat, you have to parry, which means you have to attack around the same time they attack. Now the weak guys, like he was just like a craftsman. So I only had to parry him once, and then I could kill him. But you'll notice it took a while to kill him as well. It wasn't an instant kill. And while I'm doing that animation, I'm not magically immune. The other guards can and will kill you while you're doing the kill animation, which is a good thing. Let's sneak through here. Again, there's multiple ways, and a lot of times I tend to be very thorough. I like to explore, and a lot of times I'll go through an area and then explore and then find something like this. Like for example, the first time I came through here, I didn't see this at all. Or no, wait, I didn't find the hole under the stand until I came this way and found this. It came back out. I was like, oh, I could have came back this way. That actually happens quite a bit. You often need, if you really want to see all your avenues, you really have to look around. A lot of times there's high and low and side routes even that you wouldn't even know were there if you weren't paying attention. But yeah, let's talk about the items a bit while we're waiting on this guard to come back around. We have throwing knives, as you've seen. So far, against all the enemies I've seen, throwing knives are instant. They also don't seem to make a lot of noise when they do a kill, but you can only carry 2 at a time. I also took some health damage, so we'll talk about that in a second. But you only carry 2 daggers at a time by default. We have vials of amber. We have our health. You look at the bottom right, we have our health meter. Obviously, when that drops all the way, we're dead. And then the yellow is their amber, which is basically our spells, like using the amber vision. You'll notice when I use the vision, it goes down, but it's kind of like a light yellow, and then when the amber vision goes away, it fills back up. As long as you don't use amber vision again while you have amber vision up, or I think if you use other abilities, will get your amber back. And it does not regenerate naturally. It only comes back through amber vials. All right, we're going to take another road because that guy is taking his time to come back. Let's go right here. Thought we could grab that. Let's quickly go over the rest of the items. Ball of sand. Not a really good spot to use that here. Ball of sand is for putting out torches that from a distance. Normally you can walk up to a torch and put it out. However, if the torch is in a position that is not easy for you to get to, you can actually just throw the ball of sand and put it out. Which, of course, if there's a guard nearby, they'll often be alerted. Alright, so here comes this guard. Now, we can't do a drop-down kill attack. I know, that's what you're thinking. You can unlock that later on with your abilities. And we'll talk about abilities later on. We also have vials of life, which, as you probably imagine... Nope. Now, you see, I started to do a muffle kill, and then I realized, oh, well, he's too far away to be spotted anyway, so... Now, as with a lot of stealth games like this, like Hitman and things like that, very abusable to do things like this. To kind of leave a body so they can see it, and he actually runs out of position, and it takes him a while to go on alert. He doesn't alert other guards immediately, so it gives me a chance to drop down and take him out. There's also a vial of amber here, I think. Or is that health? Oh, my vials of life are full, so actually let's use one. You gotta be careful using vials. I found out they actually make noise when you use them. because I've used them very close to guards, and they're like, "Hey, what was that?" Apparently, you're a very loud drinker. Let's actually take the high road. If we're gonna be a good thief, we know you gotta take the thieves' highway. So we don't need the crouch. Everybody over here is dead. Now, some people might not like things like the indicators. You notice this gets a little eyeball over a guard when they see you. There's different levels, like there's yellow. I think they hear something, but they haven't really spotted anything. And then orange is... because I think there's a difference between yellow and orange. It's hard to tell, actually. And then there's red, where they flat out, they know you're there and they are currently looking for you. Obviously, red you want to avoid. Now, some people might not like that. They feel like, oh, they don't like knowing when a guard over to the left out of sight sees you. You can turn that off. You can also turn quest objectives off. So you see he's telling me where to go for my next quest. You can actually turn that off if you'd like. So we're actually going to wait for this guard to go around. And again, big fans of stealth games know that this is a part of playing a stealth game, what I would consider properly. Waiting for guards, learning their patterns, adapting to their patterns, and finishing them off. So what we're going to do, wait for him to go around. We'll see if we can't get this in one go. Wait for him to get out of the peripheral vision. Finish him off quietly. And we'll see if the guard hears.
Hey,
see?
Someone there?
So it's not really a quiet kill. Now here's a covered kill. Now that's an ability I bought with the skills. Again, we'll go over skills a bit, but I bought that with a skill, and it is incredibly, incredibly useful. It's not silent. It does make noise. It doesn't make a ton of noise, but being able to grab a guard and pull him into cover and kill him has been, I can't tell you how useful. It's been super, super useful, especially somebody like me who likes to try to kill all the guards. Now here is a token. I don't know where you can see what it's called. We're just going to call it a token for now. There are X number of tokens per level, and it tells you how many there are. In this case, there's 10. And if you get them all, I'm not sure what your reward is. I think you might get skill points, extra skill points if you get them all. I'm not 100% on that. So there's some guards down here and whatnot. There's some people walking around. And again, you can see there's various ways that I could have gotten up here. If I didn't go this way, there's these little knobs there that I could have hopped on to get up here. Or I could have not got up here at all. There's also just stairs, I think, that come up here. Oh, no. Oh, there's stairs that go there. But we're going to kind of take the high road here. We're going to be at least somewhat merciful. You can also go up high here if you don't want to kill. Now, there are bonuses for not killing anyone. You get extra skill. I think you get, well, you get insignias. It says you get insignias for doing things like no kills, no alerts, etc. I don't know what the insignias are for. He's got a hell of a jump on him, by the way, which is pretty neat. Nice. I'm not sure what insignias are for, but you do get rewarded for doing things like, again, no kills. Because obviously killing the guards is way, way, way easier than trying to go through without killing a single guard. And, of course, even more so without triggering any alerts. So I'll be curious to see if those rewards are really worth it. So we're actually going to drop off of here. We're going to hang on to the side. You can actually just drop off, or if you hold shift and move, you actually hang and you can move. Now, one thing I don't like is you can't go around corners. Like, I should be able to go around the side here, but I can't, which is kind of a bummer. But, alright. It's alright. Alright.
Oh, my head. Holy shit, this damn headache won't go away. It's pounding away like a new whore's bed on payday. I can't think.
You can also hug the walls. This, again, makes you harder to see. You'll also notice the orange markings on his arm. That's amber. He's infused with amber. That's how he has these special abilities. And if you get into more of the light, hopefully this doesn't backfire, you'll notice the light, the amber goes away. So the green or the orange indication lets you know that you're hidden. Now they can still see you if they get too close, but you're mostly hidden. Let's go ahead and hop up here and we'll scope out what we've got here. Now here I'm going to highlight one of my other issues with the game. And I always hate these because it always feels like I'm just ragging on the game because I keep bringing up negatives. But so far, spoiler alert, I actually do like this game quite a lot. So we got a few things going on here. We got this guard over here just kind of standing there, chilling out. Looks like we have one dude over there going back and forth. We have a guard over there who, again, is just kind of standing. And then we have a guard that's patrolling. So the question is, how are we going to take them out? Because, of course, we have to take them out. We can't just sneak by. That's unacceptable. But if you wanted to see, there are ways of getting around. Even though that's more to come around this way. But and we'll also use some of our other abilities here in just a bit. Oh, wow. He actually saw me pretty far. Now, you can't... Ha! The only thing I don't like is with ranged guys, you can't just... There's no regular attack, which I feel is kind of weak. I sort of understand why they do it, but having no attack at all feels like an artificial restriction. It feels like they've added it... Oh, geez. Thought I saved closer than that. It feels like an artificial restriction. It feels like they added it just to make it harder without it making any sense. Yeah, he'll definitely see this, but it'll be okay. We'll take him out the same way.
Right. Anything there?
So see, again, if it's a silent kill, then why is he hearing it, right? It really shouldn't be hearing anything if it's a silent kill. Grab this again, because why not? We'll actually save it. Quick save is supported, which is a good thing. Over here. This time we're just going to drop down.
Oh, my head. Holy shit.
All right, let's save it this time.
Go away.
Let's try to be a little less sloppy.
Bet on payday. I can't think.
I said slightly less sloppy. So again, he only saw me from pretty far away and only briefly, so he kind of gave up quickly. What we're going to do here is we're going to wait for this guy to patrol away in time for me to come over there and off this guy. Last time it worked. I don't know if it's going to work this time, if I'm going to have enough time to do it. I don't think so. Come on, hurry up. So, again, this is where you start to wonder how much can you abuse the AI. And so far the answer is you can abuse it pretty badly. So, there, obviously, we weren't that in the dark. He probably should have seen me. I mean, I probably don't have the gamma down all the way or anything. But he should have noticed that. Now, even all of that aside, maybe I am in the dark, even though this seems kind of well lit. It's daylight out. There's a bunch of lanterns all over the place. Now, this guard should notice that the other guard is gone. I think we've come far enough that the AI should be at least that improved, right? That the guards notice when NPCs are missing, when normally they, missing from their normal location. I'm going to go ahead and try to take this guy out. This should be enough time, I think. And the other part is the guard is like, hey, I think I see something, but then he doesn't investigate. Sometimes he does. In fact, most of the time he does. Nope. Don't drop. That's unfortunate.
It's coming. Be patient. Tomorrow without fail. I'll have the goods.
You better, Godbert. You better.
Now that Godbert that you just heard them talking about, that's a side quest. I'm gonna go back over here. That's a side quest that you can do. Most missions seem to have at least one side quest that you can do. So now we need to figure out how to take this guy out. This guy actually doesn't seem like he's going to be too difficult. Oh, it looks like a guard saw the body. Now again, this is another thing. I'm actually glad he saw that, because this is going to give us another thing to kind of take a look at. Guard found a body. Obviously something has gone wrong. He's not alerting the other guards. He is looking, but now he's just like, alright, whatever. Now, before you start this mission, or maybe during it, at some point anyway, they talk about how all the guards are drunk on amber and all this other stuff. They're high on amber, because they use this amber as a drug. And by the way, story-wise, short synopsis, amber is this powerful substance coming from this world tree. Within the world tree, there's this amber heart thing, and you want to go steal it. Styx wants to go steal it. That's the long and short of the quest, or the main idea of the story so far. All right, let's see if we can kill this guy here. But yeah, I'm disappointed. If there's one thing that probably disappoints me the most, it's the NPCs aren't all that smart. And again, I think stealth games revolve on a few important aspects. Grab his daggers. I'm going to go ahead and sneak up on this guy and kill him quick. There's nobody around to here. Oh, actually this guy was there.
He's been killed.
And there we go. So it is possible to abuse the AI a bit. And I think the NPCs are a bit too stupid. NPCs should notice when guards go missing. NPCs should notice when other NPCs go missing. Or at least the guard should, right? There's a guard standing here, you're walking around and around, all of a sudden the guy's gone. Probably should notice that. Let's go ahead and hide here. Oh, you also can hide inside these boxes, by the way. I haven't really used this a lot myself. On occasion I will. But again, they will look inside, so it's not a get out of jail free card to hide inside the box. But yeah, my biggest complaint is that the AI isn't quite up to snuff. And I'd like to see some improvements there. There's Godbert.
Someone, just take a quick.
Oh,
This one's for me.
I hit the wrong button.
Here you go.
Stabbed him.
One troublemaker less. I just have to get rid of the body. Do I throw it in the vacuum, or do I put it in the closet?
I think that's kind of silly. Basically, the quest here was to kill this guy and leave no trace. And he's kind of hinting that, well, we could just put him in a closet. Like, well, somebody would find him there eventually. This is pretty much nowhere land, so I think nobody's going to find that body. Ever. But yeah, long and short of it, not to harp on it, but yeah, definitely would like to have seen improvement in the AI. And maybe later on, maybe AI is smarter. Maybe there's a reason these enemies are just stupid. And later on, enemies are much smarter. Maybe they notice things a lot better. I don't know. I haven't really gotten far enough to say, but so far, yeah, the AI is a bit of a disappointment. So let's go on over here. We're going to progress to the rest of this level. I'm also skipping a lot of things. You'll notice there's a whole area up here with some hidden items. But again, like that's totally not even the way we're quote unquote supposed to go. But a whole, you know, small little area over there that you can explore and find those items. As far as collectibles go, really the only collectible there is the... Oh, this would be a good time to use the sand. You can actually target its torch. And it puts out the torch. Or it puts out the torch with the sand. And you have only 5 sand. You have 5 of every, or 2 of everything by default, except the sand, which you have 5 of. I like that limitation because makes your resources much more valuable. You have to be much more picky about what you choose to use your items with. You can't just willy-nilly be throwing all your daggers and insta-killing the guards. You can find more. You can actually pickpocket guards. One thing I find interesting is if a guard has a health vial or a vial of amber, if you don't pickpocket it and you kill them, it breaks the vial. I think that's actually pretty cool. It doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. I mean, you could argue they fall on it just every single time they die ever. But, you know, it's a stretch, but I'm okay with it because I think it rewards you for playing more skillfully by making sure to capture all that. Oh. Environment-wise, the game looks great. It runs really, really well. I get a consistent 60 frames a second with pretty much, I think everything I have is maxed. I'm running a GTX 680. Everything maxed, game looks good, runs really, really smoothly. I haven't had any technical problems out of it. So yeah, I've been happy with it in that regard. I like the overall look. The music is fitting. It fits the scene well. Or fits the environment well. We got 2 guards here. 2 patrolling. There's a dude over there. And a guy there. And you can see he's got a vial on him. I'm gonna... let's see. What's he got? He's got a vial of amber. So this would be a good time as any. Well, actually, you know what? We're gonna use the clone here in a bit. It's probably not the smartest move ever.
Let go of him, green
No, thank you. Bury him. Oh, see, they read, so they saw me. Now, again, these weaker guys only take 1 parry. The guards can actually take up to 3. What was that? Oh, oh, oh. Come on. Come on over. Come on. Somebody come around so I can do the stealth guild.
Damn it. He got done in.
Damn. Ah. Alright. So let's see if we can't skip past him a little bit. Because I want to show you the clone. And that's not really a great place to use the clone at. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Now, you can make a clone of yourself and take control of it. Yes, you actually vomit it up. Now, the clone can't do a whole lot without points in abilities. He can kind of make it as a distraction. He can pull levers, but he can't steal, he can't kill, he can't do anything. He can also, however, create a distraction.
Is there someone there?
Like that. Get him to come over here. Come on. Okay.
Oh shit, this one's for me.
Now, if he kills your clone, you lose the amber, but if you actually unsummon him... I was trying to get on the other side of him.
Oh shit. Take that.
It looks like it's gone.
So yeah, the game AI definitely could use some work.
Someone there.
Come on. Damn, he saw me. See, and this is what happens when you try to rush. Oh, come on.
Don't let it. Shit, he's being killed. Take that.
Sometimes the time it takes you to lock on is a little bit weird. But yeah, the clone, I really can't find a lot of uses for by default. I mean, I guess it's an okay distraction, but a lot of the time he pulls too many guards away, and it kind of defeats the purpose because the NPC that you're looking for ends up going... Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this. Alright, let's see if we can control the clone. Alright, there we go. What we can do, we can noise.
What is going on? Let's see where it came from.
Come on, guys. Have him walk over where I'm at. I think you can see where this is going to go. So yeah, their vision's not so great. One's for me.
I get the reward.
Alright, so as they walk back. Oh, and they relight torches too, by the way, if they find them extinguished. Later on, I think you can get upgrades where you can actually get them, like, kill. Whoa. See, that like that. Like, a lot of that is going to be experimentation. You kind of have to figure out what makes noise and what doesn't. Oh, wow. Just that window. Wow. Completely off on that one. Oh, whoa. Oh, I think I get hit by a range. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really happy with the clone. The clone feels pretty weak. He does get some cool skill abilities, but for the most part, it's really not worth the hassle to use him, frankly. You know, there's might be some cases he can be handy, but more often than not, like I say, he's just kind of a pain to deal with, and it's much easier to just wait and take out guards normally. Let's see if we can get past this part here, and we'll kind of start wrapping up the general section. Come on. Wait for that guy to go away. Sometime today, preferably. Now you see he's got the bottle on him. No, that guy goes really quick. Oh, whoa. Alright, let's reload that. Alright, we'll be done here soon. Oh, it also defaults to autosave as the last button. There. Oh, I guess it did autosave right here, so that works out. Yeah, we're just going to try to sneak past this, because I'm just trying to get in a hurry now to show you off the game and This part's kind of a pain because it's a lot of watching the guard's path and whatnot, which is fine. That's what you're supposed to do in these games. But when you're trying to show it off, not the most exciting thing in the world. But let's see what else to talk about. Level design's good. I mentioned that. I really like the level design. We're gonna try to get this guy. Gonna hop up here. If I could get up there, I could actually cut that chain. I don't think I can do that from there. No, I cannot. And there's guards way up there, so... which, again, that gives you another idea of that you could go up this way. There's also a path to the right side you can use. You might be able to go that way as well, but I don't think so. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I definitely want to go back to the hideout. The hideout I definitely want to talk about here. Come on. As you can see, guards often just randomly throw up. I'm going to guess it has something to do with them being addicted to this amber. Gonna take this guy out. Yeah, we're not really going to do too much more of this level. Just kind of get him out of the way. And again, the parry scenes, again, remember, if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, if you get to that part where you would normally be into a parry scene, you instant die. So you definitely do not want to get caught. You can still get away if you're at range, but you do not want to get caught close to the enemies. And this is actually the first time I think I've turned out torches. This is another complaint I have. Oh gosh, get in here. Another complaint I have is a lot of the light sources you can't put out, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like some of the big lights, sure, whatever, it makes sense you can't put those out. But like that little sconce, oh, he just put my light out. You still need it. The last light you put out, just a torch lighter. But like that little, whatever that's called, the brazier or whatever that is, you can't put that out even with sand. That's kind of silly. And there's other lamps that you could easily blow into. You can't put those out. That seems silly. Like if we could put these out, why? It seems very arbitrary that we can't put the other lights out. At least with sand. Like let me put those lights without with sand. Not with my hands, but let me put it out with sand. But yeah, I think that's a bit out. And again, you see yet another path that we could have went that I completely did not see / forgot about over here. So the game does seem to do a really good job of that, giving you a lot of alternate paths. But with that said, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show game-wise. And then I want to show you the hideout, which is where you do your upgrading and your skill checks and whatnot. Or not skill checks, but where you upgrade your skills. You can see guard down there. So gameplay-wise, issues. AI is pretty bad. Their vision seems to be pretty bad, even when you seem like you're pretty visible. A lot of times they just seem to be totally oblivious. And quiet kills aren't really quiet. They still make a decent amount of noise to be heard by nearby guards, which kind of defeats the entire purpose of being a quiet kill. Well, not the entire purpose. They're quieter. That's what it should be called. A quieter kill. But overall, stealth-wise, it's a lot of fun. I love running around, exploring the map, finding those little trinkets. I do wish there were more collectibles. In games like Thief, one of the big rewards for exploring a level was finding more loot. So, one, just because finding all the extra loot and stealing it was just fun. And two, you were helping yourself because you could buy water arrows and whatnot. Rope arrows, things like that. In this game, you don't really have that. The only thing you really have to find are those little tokens. And I wish there would just be more things that make it worth your while to explore. But let's go ahead and we're actually going to load the hideout. This is another save game I made. The hideout is where you're going to keep coming back to it. Think of it as your hub. But don't think of it as the hub in the Thief remake. Because it's a whole lot smaller. And it's much, much better done, in my opinion. So here's the hub. Here, I think, and I don't know how this works exactly, but I think whenever you finish a mission, you come back to the hub, and then you can restock on things like knives, amber potions, things of that nature. You also upgrade your skills. Let's talk about the skills really quick. You have a few sections here. We have stealth, agility, cloning, amber vision, equipment, kill, and then this predator. I'm not sure why this one is disabled. Maybe you can only get it later on. Maybe it's disabled for the press build. I don't know. But basically, you get skill points for beating levels, And I think you get bonus skill points for doing optional quests, like, or finding relics. Each map has a relic, or each quest is usually built up or broken up into X number of maps. And then on one of those maps is at least one relic. And if you find the relic, I think you get extra skill points. I actually missed it on the tutorial map, which I think is probably pretty sad. But regardless, you get them from doing that. I don't think you get more skill points for doing stealthy things. Again, I think things like not killing anyone, not being alerted, I think those gives you insignias. And again, I don't know what insignias are for. I don't know if you can cash those in for something. But anyway, skill points for beating levels. And then you translate those skill points into actual skills. So for example, here's one I bought, Silent Landing. It costs 20 skill points. And when you land, you make a lot less noise. This is super, super useful, I have found. Because I often like to drop down really close to guards from a high vantage spot and take them out quickly. And there's not always like a soft carpet that you can land on. Mastery of Escape, your rolls and dodges are more effective. This takes 40 skill points, 50. As you can see, some of the higher level stuff takes a lot of points. So, you kind of want to decide, well, do I want to kind of get a little bit of each? Do I want to focus on one or two trees, at least at first, and max them out? And there's some pretty interesting one, like the cloning one. The cloning tree actually seems to make the clone much, much more useful. For example, the first level, the clone can actually grab and hold someone for a few seconds so that you can get a kill on them. Pounce, you can actually make them hide in like a chest. And when a guard goes by, it'll jump out and kill it. Strategically, that seems like that could be very, very useful. So let's say, for example, you got a guard patrolling around a box and then another guard who's just standing there by a column. Well, I believe you can just put the clone in the box, and I don't think you have to trigger him. I think it triggers automatically when a guard goes by. And if that's the case, you could go ahead and put the clone in the box. It's a clone in a box. And before, like, while the guard who's patrolling's back is turned, and then while you're waiting for the guard to patrol, you go behind the other guard who's standing by the column, and then when the clone grabs the other dude, even if the guy by the column sees it, you can off him before he has a chance to do anything. So I can see a bunch of cool stuff. There's a smoke bomb, and there's also the option to make your clone invisible for like 90 skill points. But yeah, the skills are pretty neat for the most part. I am disappointed in the stealth tree, because the stealth tree is pretty much the invisibility tree, because 3 out of the 4 abilities only affect the invisibility ability, which I actually forgot to go over. Sorry about that. But basically, it's self-explanatory, right? It makes you invisible for a short time. Now, it does use a lot of amber, and it doesn't last very long. So it's definitely one of those, like, oh crap, I'm in deep trouble, I better go invisible thing, which I think it should be. I like that the ability's there, but I like that, at least by default, it's not abusable. However, this Master of Invisibility seems incredibly good. You can stay invisible indefinitely without consuming amber as long as you don't move. That's pretty darn good, it seems like. Yeah, I really am disappointed that there's not more stealth things, like making it so that when you run normally, makes it the walk sound, and walking normally makes no sound, whatever. Something like that to make actual stealth better. But yeah, a little disappointed in that tree, but overall the skills look pretty interesting. And I've got some I definitely want to try out. I do plan on let's playing this game for those of you who might be interested. Not sure when that's going to happen though. Lastly, we have replay a mission. This is how replay a mission should have been in Thief 2014, whenever the new one was released. This year, right? Whatever. You can just go to this book and pick which one you want to redo. It also tells you how you did on the mission. This is the intro mission, the tutorial mission. I did the main thing and missed the relic, which is incredibly shameful for anyone who loves stealth games as much as I do. And then here's the insignias that I talked about. Shadow, no alert triggered. Mercy, no enemy kills. Swiftness, mission completed in 18 minutes. Thief, all tokens collected. That's those tokens I talked about where there's X number of those little gold coin looking things. So yeah, overall, my verdict is if you like stealth games, you would be out of your gourd not to buy Styx, Master of Shadows. It's $30, and I'm loving it so far. Yes, there's definite room for improvement. The guard AI is pretty crappy. It's crappy, but it's kind of stealth standard fare, right? Stuff we've seen in previous stealth games. It does seem to be better than in what I've seen of the Thief I've played through the Thief game, the reboot, but I did a save scumming basically, and every time I got detected, I was doing a no detection run, so whenever I got detected, I just reloaded. But I've seen people abuse the guard's AI in Thief, and it looked pretty horrific. They seem to be smarter in this game in that they will check closets, they will check drawers, things like that, even if they didn't see you go into them. But they seem to be a little slow on the uptake, even on the harder difficulty. Keep in mind, I was just playing it on the hard difficulty, and several times I was killing a guard, and I wasn't that far away, and I wasn't totally in darkness, and they were still seeing me pretty well. And so I think that probably could use a little tweaking, a little bit of improvement. I like to see that. Also, another thing I like to see, in case the off chance that the developers are watching this video, please add a level editor. I think having a level editor for this game would be awesome. I'd love to go back, beat this game, and then go back and come back in a few months, see what the community has come up with as far as levels. People still make and play Thief levels to this day. So if you're thinking about it, please do it if the sales are good enough. But yeah, again, just to cover it again, guard AI, not so great. Not a whole lot of reason to explore other than the tokens, even though there's a lot of areas to explore. The maps feel good. They feel big and open in that I don't feel like I'm going down a hallway. I feel like there is a path, a general path, but how I go through that path varies, if that makes any sense. And there's also areas, again, that have nothing to do with the main quest that are there to explore, find tokens, and of course, brutally murder guards. Again, absolutely would definitely recommend this if you like stealth games at all. I will absolutely be let's playing this at some point. If I don't let's play it, I'll at least play it through. I really like this game. I like the atmosphere. I like the voice acting, the music. I think it's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to sneak around, and it feels brutal when you kill the guards. And I like that you're punished pretty severely if you actually get spotted, the way a stealth game should be. And I really like that your resources, like Amber and stuff, are very limited. Yeah, I really, really like it. Again, Styx, Master of Shadows, PC, PS4, and Xbox, digital only, $30. Stop listening to me. Go buy this game and play it. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to see more videos on games that you might not have heard of, make sure to subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this game. Follow me on Twitter, and I will see you next time.
Step back, though. We are getting this worked up about a mobile game. I mean,
I do hate you, though. I want to be 100% clear with a moment of seriousness. I hate your guts.